In this video, we'll discuss Chris Brown's anger problem exposed. Chris Brown is back at it again to his old messy ways, and this time he put his hands on Usher. This is crazy because Usher and Chris have always been besties, but it looks like this is the final straw for Usher because he is now putting Chris on blast for his anger issues and distancing himself from this hot mess. But does this mean that Usher is finally cutting Chris all for good? Okay, so I know we all heard about the drama from this weekend. I mean, like Chris Brown back to his old ways of getting into fights and creating a mess. And this time he got into a fight with us. Now before people even heard the details of what really happened and led to the fight, there were already conclusions that the fight was Chris's fault. I mean, it's not that surprising that people would think this because Usher is not really the type of guy that is known to get into fights, but Chris on the other hand, well, let's just say that he has had a very messy history involving fights and violence. So we all know that Chris Brown and Usher have always been super tight with each other. And Usher shows Chris love all the time. But anyways, it was Chris' birthday a couple of days ago. And Usher decided to throw him a surprise birthday party. He invited a lot of celebs including Teyana Taylor. Now, Teyana getting an invite shouldn't have been a big deal, because she and Chris have been close for years. She was one of the very few celebs who stood by him and supported him when he was getting cancelled and blacklisted by the industry after the situation with Rihanna back in 2009. Me and Rihanna is cool. You understand what I'm saying? Like, well, we used to be cool, but at the end of the day, my loyalty is with my brother. Now this was a super risky move for her to make because she was putting her career on the line for him. But like I said, he has been heavily cancelled in the industry and Teyana was risking getting cancelled as well. So she and Chris were cool for many years. But that changed last year after she pulled out of his tribute performance to Michael Jackson. At the AMAs his whole performance ended up getting cancelled. Because the AMA got dragged for asking him to perform despite his many violent episodes against women. But according to insiders, Chris somehow felt like it was Tina's fault that his performance got cancelled and not because he was the one facing consequences of his actions. But anywho, we heard the party was led because there were a lot of celebs in attendance. Including Ward, but then things changed when Chris became very disrespectful to Teyana at the event and he started yelling at her. Usher being the gentleman that he has tried to intervene and de-escalate the drama. This led to Usher getting into an open argument with Chris over his disrespectful attitude toward Teyana. Chris left the venue and Usher followed him outside to sort of resolve the issue. But then for some reason, Chris and his entourage jumped Usher. It's not exactly clear how long the fight went on for. But sources claim the Usher had a bloody nose after the event. It's kind of crazy to jump the person who went through all the trouble of throwing a surprise birthday party for you at the venue while the party is still going on. But hey, that's Chris Brown for you. And as sad as it is, this behavior is really not that surprising. Unfortunately, he has a very long history of violence, especially towards women. And the wild part about this is that he constantly is blaming other people for judging him even though it looks like he makes zero effort to change his behavior. I mean, he still has a thriving career with more than 100 million Instagram followers and manages to sell out shows almost every time. So he keeps getting away with it while claiming that people are out for him. Now, I know we love Chris. But at the same time, I think we can all admit that he has severe anger issues that often get the best of him. And when I say he has severe anger issues, I mean that quite literally. Because the day after the fight with Usher, he got into another physical altercation at the Lovers and Friends concert where he was booked to perform. I got it. I know we love Chris Brown, but he needs to get his act together. Because getting into crazy fights all the time is not doing his career any favors. He already has a messy reputation and it looks like he's doing his best to make it even worse. And according to insiders, Usher was shocked that he and Chris have been tight for years, but the insider claimed that Usher is now seriously considering cutting Chris off completely because he feels like his anger issues have gotten way out of control. So, that's it for today. Don't forget to share your thoughts on this. Please hit the like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing celebrity-related stories. Thank you for watching till the end.